Hello, friendly friends, and welcome back to another episode of Gale and Darling, slowly making our way to Victory Road. Kind of want to face people, but also kind of don't.
I just want to get to the road.
The Victory Road?
The road of victory, yes.
It's not a road, you know.
It's kind of a road.
It's a cave.
Yeah. Look, I hate caves, so we're calling it a road so that I feel less awful about it.
Alright, I see. Okay, cool.
It's Victory Path.
Victory Stroll!
It is the Victory Channel.
Alright, so looking at our Pokemon, the last Pokemon that got named is Palkia.
Which was named...
Beepo.
Yes. I forgot about Beepo. So you get to name the next one. Unless we hatch some eggs before then. I don't remember.
I like looking at the names and being like, wait, who? Why did we name this?
What did we name the, Biscuit Limp. I'm funny.
Oh, Bastewart. Good old Bastewart. And then, of course, Malarok, the Destroyer.
Beeg. And I do want to go check our graveyard for a second.
There is none. I mean...
Oh, did we release?
He's dead.
We've only lost one. We've only released one.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
Yes.
So last time we talked about...
Pirates,
Sea of Thieves, and my distaste for games that come out incomplete. Clearly incomplete. Today I want to talk about games that we wish were better. Not like one type of game, but like categories of games that are just low effort, but really addicting and we wish were better.
Like Sims?
Like Sims.
I cannot get into The Sims. I get why some people love it, but to me it's just... low effort's a good word for it. It just feels like there's not enough content. Because the most...
Oh, there's plenty of content for The Sims.
For hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, you just need to be able to afford a freaking yacht.
The reason I say it is just because it feels like the fun part is making the game. Making your characters, setting up their house and everything. After that, just the idea of just watch and maybe interact with them just feels like... That feels so distant from fun gameplay to me.
I understand that. I like the controlling aspect of it, but
Hold up. I just want you to remember that sentence. So when we go into couples therapy, I can, make you say that again.
But I just really hate that all the expansions of like, hey, do you want to live in an apartment? Do you want to go camping? Do you just want to have cottage stuff? You have to pay us $20.
Do you want dogs? Here's $50.
Like, that is the scummiest, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's why I don't buy any Sims content anymore. I got The Sims 2 when it was completely free, when they were promoting The Sims 4. And I got The Sims 4 at the beginning. And I think I bought like 2 expansions, Vampire and Get to Work, which were very early on. And then they just keep putting out expansions. And I was like, no, I don't even play it anymore.
Do we want to swap out Pikachu?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Give me a second. Gosh.
Yeah, it's interesting that in some, like, I get there are some people who love the game as is for that purpose, right? Like, it's building your own world, controlling it, and basically playing out your own little sitcom. I get that. I appreciate that. The best experience I've had with Sims is watching people break it. Like, when you basically play like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you bring every single person in town and all of their pets into your house, and then remove all of the doors. Like, that kind of stuff.
Oh, Baskinol landed a critical hit. Cast for Baskinol.
When you say, let's add some absurdity, let's add some extra unexpected behavior in here, like, that's when it's really funny for me.
Yes. I'm thinking another category of games I wish was just better.
Before you move on, though.
Okay,
I
sure.
want to, because I don't just want this to be negative from us, I do want to ask, how would you improve it?
How would I improve The Sims?
Yeah.
Put that content in for free.
You and I have different ideas. Okay. My idea was add a fight club. Or, like, part of it's you build the world, part of it's you build the characters,
Your Sims
right?
can fight, you know that, right?
Yeah, but you don't get to control them. What I mean is, like, I would love if you could basically isekai them. Take your characters that you've kind of, like, grown to certain personalities and looks, and drop them into other worlds and see if they survive. They can't survive in our world, but could they survive in the Shire? And could they fight a hobbit and win? Is a very important question I have.
I see.
Who would win, your civilization from The Sims or your civilization from Spore?
I foresee problems with that one. Okay. Psychic!
Sure.
Wonderful! I knew you could do it!
Good job. And I love that we've had to put in multiple Pokemon to go against this trainer when we got through the entire last gym with the Grass Boy.
Girl!
Sorry, I'm using the non-gendered boy.
With an I.
The B-O-I, yes. The Grass Gal.
So, another genre that I wish was just in general better. And you want to know something that's going to be a consistent theme around this? Majority of a female audience.
Yeah, hold up, let me get a drink so I can do a good spit take.
No. It's just fashion games.
Okay, no spit take needed there. Fashion games are the worst.
Fashion games are traditionally very awful. There has not been a good, like, oh, people come in, you design some outfits for them or whatever game. Like, it's always crappy. It's always, like...
It's always a Flash idol maker.
Yeah, Flash idol maker, or, like, Barbie goes to the mall or whatever. It's never fun.
So what you want is basically the home design game from Animal Crossing New Horizons. Right? Where someone's like, okay, here's the things I want in my home. Here's what you have, and I want you to see what you can make for me. You want that for a fashion game.
Kind of. But also, like... Okay, so there was a game on the PS1 that I played as a kid. And I can't remember the specific title, but it was like Totally Angelica, which was a Rugrats game. And you would be in this giant mall.
This is a deep cut, but go ahead.
You would be in this giant mall, and you're playing as Angelica, and then you would go into different stores, and some of them were... I can't remember the specifics, but it was like they would be run by the other Rugrats characters, like the other babies. And you would have to complete a mini-game of some sort, depending on which Rugrats baby it was. And then afterwards, you would win a fashion item. Like, you would win a different dress, you would win new shoes, and, like, each store had the same selection, so you would play that minigame over and over again to get, like, 3 pairs of new shoes. They were all different colors and different styles. And then you would go to the runway, and you would do your makeup, you would do her hair, you would do her outfits, and then the other Rugrats babies would grade you on your, like, fashion. And then, if you did well enough, you would unlock the next floor of the mall. Until you completed, like, the whole game, right?
So this is weird as well, because in those kind of, like, Flash games we're talking about, which are also very similar to those kind of, like, those virtual life games, like IMVU or whatever, where the gameplay is designing the character. It's almost back to Sims, where, like, the fun part for you is actually, like, being creative, trying to find a look, trying to find alternate looks and all these things to build around a character or a situation. I mean, the minigames for the PS1 Totally Angelica Rugrats game sounds like, I mean, it had some other elements in there that are
Well,
fun.
they were really fun. Like, my point is that game, I played the heck out of it. I played hours of that game because I enjoyed the fashion, I enjoyed the mini games, I enjoyed having it unlock, like, having my styles have to unlock the next level of them all. For me, like, that's progression. That's, like, something to aim for. Like, it was a children's game. It was a Rugrats game on the PS1. But I had so much fun with it. And fashion games just, like, to me, that's the peak of a fashion game, which is really sad.
You haven't played many... Have there been any other, like, console fashion games that you're aware of?
I mean, there's been, like, DS, like, Girls Believe, like, fashion, like, or Make Believe. I can't remember what the series was, but the one where it's, like, a bunch of jobs and they make games about them, and, like, it's like a wish fulfillment thing, and so they do ones of that's fashion designers. Obviously, Barbie's got a bunch of fashion games.
Got it, but they're all kid-oriented for the most part.
They're all kid-oriented, and they're all poorly made.
Oh,
and
you know what the worst part of this is?
What?
I know what fashion game you've played most recently. It's called Making a VTuber Model.
It's not a game.
It's called...
That was work.
Yeah, but I mean, in a lot of ways, it's the same thing, right? It's learning the mechanics and...
This was a bad idea. Not as bad as I thought.
I don't know if you're faster, but Giga Drain would... Yeah, we're faster. Okay, this is over. But, like, the only other game equivalent is, like, VR chat and, like, making a VTuber model. I mean, they're different, but in the same way, it's like the kind of... Here's a way you can take this very disparate set of elements and create an outfit for a character that you choose. Also, I want to step in here for a second. You know that I am always worried about something that you or I say that for some reason is going to go viral and piss off a sub-community of the internet, right?
Sure.
Like clowns, people of Vegas, I'll apologize to you if you come after me, I get it and everything, right? But I love that you picked the game that there is not a YouTuber alive who come out and say, "How dare you insult Totally Angelica?"
I didn't insult
it. And you praised it.
I love Totally Angelica.
Meanwhile, for some reason, I know I'm gonna go, like, in my nightmares, I go viral and a bunch of Sims players lock me in a house, break all the doors off, and watch me pee my pants like I do to Sims, and struggle to feed myself in a different language.
Yep. I just think, like, fashion games are one. But I feel like cooking games could use, like, people actually caring. Like, I will say, oh, what's it called? The one that we play all the time that's, like,
Overcooked?
Overcooked, thank you. Overcooked is a great cooking game.
Okay, hold up.
I think that's taking a cooking game and making it fun, but it also does lose, you know,
the cooking aspect.
Parts of the cooking aspect. Not all of the time, but it is like, cooking games are usually time management games. That's just usually what they are, and I think that they do well in that sphere of influence.
Well, and there's the new hyper-realistic cooking simulators, right? Where it's like you actually have a full French kitchen, and you have to create the, grab the right ingredients, chop it in the proper method, put it in the oven for just long enough. Yeah, just grind through that.
No, I'm gonna switch to Blisket.
So there's cooking games, and there's games that use cooking as the setting for a minigame. And I love Overcooked, but also, like, the takeaway they have from cooking is the stress of running around trying to get everything done and communicating with people.
But I think, like, don't you think there's a missed opportunity for just a really fun game where you start cooking in, like, a truck, and then you get to, like, start your business, you get to pick what foods you sell, make your own menu, and then you get to, finally invest in a bigger space, and so you get to plan out a restaurant, and you get to hire different chefs and people to fill out your vision, readjust the menu, branding, and all that kind of stuff. And you just live out the life of a restaurant, like, owner.
I mean, that's a very popular genre among browser games.
Yeah.
Which are, I mean, to be fair, usually, yes, much smaller. Destiny Bond.
Do we do it? Do we do it as a backup?
Is that the take you with me?
Yeah, if I die, you die too.
I like it for something like Garchomp.
I say... Oh, I meant to do it in terms of hypnosis, but I pressed the wrong button, I guess.
Okay. But yeah, you're right. It's weird that you don't have the same scale of games, right? Meanwhile, like FIFA... Is it FIFA? That you have, like, the team manager one? Where you build your team, you buy more expensive players...
I can't say for certain, but those sports games all do.
Yeah. But just do that with, like, you know, an actual decent cooking minigame that feels authentic, you know? Or we do it in real life. Like, I've got weekends, we can get a food truck.
No. God, no. I do not have time for anything else.
But I have so many name ideas! And I have so many food trucks I want to make.
Max Elixir! But, like, yeah, those... I just feel like there's some genre games that are, like... Or, I guess, maybe some game themes? I don't know how best to put it. But there are just some types of games that do not get the same kind of love and affection that other games do. Like, there are some good
Really?
Look, he tried, okay? He tried. But there are some, like...
I want that dude's pants, but it's a separate story.
There are some good ideas for some games that would be, like, totally awesome. Like, even pirate games. Pirate games don't get enough love. Because they're pirate games.
Well, and yeah, that's one, like I said, there's few, right? And most of them that I've seen, like, there's one that's almost all sailing. I think that's Black Flags? That might be the TV show. I don't remember. Like I said, there's some that focus on just like, okay, after that point it becomes a platformer, right? Where you have a pirate sword and maybe you have a gun and a cannon. And it's hard to make like a comprehensive thing without it becoming basically just a simulator.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing is, like, how do you make it not just a life sim? Because even the cooking game I described would just be like a life sim.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, you know, maybe life sims aren't all bad. That's not a problem. Like, life sim games can be fun. The problem is simulator games got such a bad rap from people making really crappy ones about stupid funny things. So now if you hear, oh, mechanic simulator, you're thinking, oh, some guy at home, like, got Unity for the first time, bought a bunch of pre-made assets, and is making a joke about being a mechanic and, like, having your butt crack open.
I don't know about that, because I've seen how much Farm Simulator can be, and how much DLCs are made for that game. It is in the thousands of dollars if you want to buy all the DLC for Farm Simulator, because they are hyper-realistic tractors and different environments and different market conditions and all these things, and like, it is one of the most developed games I've ever seen. Also, fun fact, I love, this is a side thing, this is anything about this, but the real-time strategy games are hilarious to me because of the crowd they draw. There have been multiple times when classified information from the US government has been leaked on forums for tank simulator games. Because someone was like, let me prove to you that I'm right about the specs of this tank, and to do so, they leak government secrets because they're that passionate about their tank game. It is the funniest thing to me.
I mean, yeah, that's a different level of stupid.
That is just, I love, like, there are some games that, I'm not big into real-time strategy games. I'll do them every now and then, but because of their core audience that is, like, you know, putting in, not only learning the strategies for hundreds of hours, but putting in hundreds of hours of gameplay, just becomes, like, this giant thing that I want to get involved in. Instead, I'll put that thousands of hours into League. You know, I have my own addiction. It's a problem.
The much better out of the two, really.
Honestly, the one where even if I put in thousands of hours, I'm still more likely to win.
Are you really winning?
So genre games that aren't up to what they need to be. League of Legends. I have never come across a big game like that where I've played it and thought, you know what, I really like this community. I played Overwatch for a long time when it came out. I've been playing League for years, and I've tried a couple other ones. And every single time I run into, man, people just kind of suck.
I think that's just people.
The only time I had like a decent encounter with one that like I don't think I ever had a bad encounter with the game was Paladins. Which is very much feels very, I think it's Hi-Res Studios, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've seen me play it. It's the...
Probably, but I forgot.
It's another kind of Overwatch style, like, team-based shooter, but the characters are all kind of like fantasy themed. It's not Smite, but it's basically halfway between Smite and Overwatch. But it's also free to play. You can buy characters and skins. I don't know if it's out of beta yet, but it was like, it looks much less quality than like Overwatch. And I loved it because I went on there and I was super good because nobody played it. Like, I think at one point I was looking at it on Twitch and there were like 300 people watching someone stream Paladins. I'm like, okay, but there's still a decent community that was really fun. But also, just, it was not... Because of that, it wasn't up to par, right? You ran into the same people. You played in very similar situations. I'm sure it's bigger now, but it was just a problem of being too small. Which, hey man, it was a good community, but I'm sure it'll get toxic later. Also, I never used voice chat, so maybe that would have changed things.
Do we try to beat it with a Blaziken? Or do we admit that it's probably got Earthquake? Is it ground grass? Yes. We don't really have a Pokemon that's good for this. Gonna be real with you, we would just be using Borrelia and chipping at it. Or Boo.
Let's try Blaziken. I don't think it can one-shot us.
I think our special would be better. There we go. Okay, cool. Good job, Blaziken.
Yeah,
I didn't doubt you for a second. I swear.
But yeah, League has its problems. The real problem is just people. Same with Fortnite, same with Call of Duty, same with Halo, same with any major multiplayer game.
Yeah, people just suck.
Yep.
Maybe that's why Nintendo like keeps trying to like be like, oh, we totally have multiplayer in our game. It's just not really multiplayer because once we have real multiplayer, you'll realize that human beings suck, and that makes the games really bad.
I think my favorite example of that is in Smash, right? Super Smash Bros. What is the newest one?
Ultimate?
Ultimate. I mean, there's no voice chat, right?
Yeah.
But there's still ways to make someone have a bad time, which is just, if you disconnect, it ends the match. Which if you do it in a multiplayer one, ruins it for everyone. And it's still super common. You just unplug the router, everyone's match is over. The one way people will always find a way to be toxic, and they will always suck. I do think it's responsibility of game, like, developer to make that better. Community has responsibility as well, but like, you're right. Nintendo tries, and even they can't entirely get around it.
Well, I don't think they're necessarily trying. I just like think they don't want to do multiplayer. I think they honestly are like, this is like obnoxious and we don't want to do it, but it's just so much like that's just the way things are now, so they have to. And it's kind of like, man, I really don't want to be here programming multiplayer into this game, but I guess since that's like the thing now, I guess I will. Which, I mean, I understand, but I kind of feel like Nintendo's the only people retaining the couch co-op. Like, feel like indie studios will do it, but like big games, no longer allow couch co-op.
Well, and that's what upset me so much about Borderlands 3. Because, I mean, Borderlands has been known for being one of the few couch co-op shooters in recent history.
That's not what couch co-op is.
You can do Borderlands couch co-op.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. You can do it like split screen.
Oh, okay.
But Borderlands 3, because there was so much going on and there was no way to simplify it, it was really bad. It basically made it impossible for either person to play without just particle effects taking up the entire screen. And it would run poorly. So yeah, bring split screen back. Another genre game that I think we both like, clearly, that we want more of, is the two-player asymmetric experience.
Yeah, well, I think that's doing pretty well right now with It Takes Two.
Yeah, and what my other argument is, I need more of it.
Yeah.
Like, we've gone through pretty much all of the ones on Steam. It's like, okay, there's a new one every couple of months. Oh, we played it. I mean, right, it's going to be hard to do multiple hours of this, right? Because usually they're puzzle solvers, which means there's not a lot of replayability.
Yeah,
But,
that is the big problem, is that once you play through it with one person, you can't even replay it with a different person.
Yeah.
Because you kind of already know, oh, right, there's a thing in this corner that I'm supposed to find. And I'm supposed to implement this book, or this is the secret, you know? And you can only do it once.
Well, and that's why I liked It Takes Two, which, again, I didn't play, I watched. But I'd be happy to play it, especially going level by level, because, like, it's not just puzzle solving. It's still mechanics and gameplay.
Yeah, that one I could definitely see playing again. I played it, for the audience, I played it with my brother, and Darling and some other friends would just come into the Discord and watch us play it, you know, just like streaming it for them. So we had a lot of fun with that. Like, we had a ton of fun where my brother and I would accidentally kill each other, in quotes, accidentally, and try to sabotage each other, and get through the game, and it was fun, and we made fun of the book and how much we wanted to burn it. We did.
I will say, that is something also that I need to play more games that do, which is use characters and story to build in me legitimate rage.
That sounds like an awful idea.
That game had some emotional whiplash and it was great. Like, the reason it feels so satisfying when you accomplish something in that game, not only are like the romantic and the happy scenes done pretty well, but the lows are low, and it's great because it makes for higher highs.
I was worried Chingling was like part normal for a second. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not, but also it could be, and this could not work at all.
I saw that worried spot on your face, had to check.
I like two-player games. I'm trying to think if there's any others that I can't, like that need some improvement just off the top of my head. Because we've got cooking, fashion, pirate, just more in general two-player games. I don't know, horse games? Are there good horse games?
Let Gale's horse girl shine.
Or do horses just appear in games and sometimes they're good and sometimes you're like, this horse could use some work?
I've already played the best horse game. And it's also the worst game I've ever played.
My Horse Prince?
My Horse Prince.
That's a pretty bad horse game.
Great horse, though. That was such a bizarre time in my life. I was doing an internship out of a different city. And, I mean, we were together at that point, so we were trying to, like, we were texting and calling each other a bunch. And I would just send you random screenshots from My Horse Prince that I realized my coworkers had seen over my shoulder. And like, hey, can I stop this now? But we basically placed a bet on it. Like, if I completed the game, I don't remember what it was. Oh, I do remember what it was. It was you had to make a visual novel, which I don't think you ever did. You did a small one for the 1-day challenge.
8-day.
8-day challenge. Which I guess we'll call that counting. But man, I really hate those mobile visual novel games.
Can mobile games get better? Is that a genre? Can I say mobile games suck and I wish they would be better?
I have two thoughts on this, right? One, you're obviously like I love the concept of League of Legends Wild Rift, right? Because it's actually doing, in my opinion, it's an interesting balance of mechanics and all that's available on a phone, right? Because you're not going to have the same size processor, the same screen definition, that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So there's obviously mechanical limits on what you can do. The real problem is that every mobile game thinks that it has to be basically pay to play. Not just buy the game, but, keep paying to play, because they're trying to build an addictive model that relies on how often people look at their phones. So that's just scummy.
Yeah, I think, maybe that's it, because I've seen some mobile games that seem decent, and people like a lot of mobile games. So, clearly they're not the worst.
But then you have
their payment practices are just the worst.
Now, let's talk about Genshin Impact.
Oh!
Which is actually the worst.
Diet Breath of the Wild, but with predatory monetary practices? I don't know what's so bad about it.
And the cutest anime girls. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, they do have some fantastic art. I am super jealous of that. If I could get the artists for Genshin Impact to work on all the games that I theoretically could build.
Oh, it has sturdy. That's unfortunate.
Our Golem does not have sturdy. It has Rockhead.
Oh, we got a clap.
Yay!
Golf clap. In similar news, though, I think I am very excited for what is going to be the greatest game on the Switch, which is the return of Wii Sports, which was the greatest game on the Wii.
Wii Sports 2. Wii Sports even sportier.
That is just one of those, instant classics, right? Also incredibly frustrating, right? Because we got a Wii when I was in my teens. And it was primarily for the sports games. So I played with my family members, and I would always be mad that, wait, I'm punching harder and faster, and it's not picking up my punches. Why are you beating me in Wii Boxing? And they're like, because I know how to play the game. I'm not trying to fight something. So I lost a lot of those, and it was very upsetting. But I am very, oh, do we have to clap again?
No, we don't have to clap every time.
Okay. But, the bowling is a classic, the golf is a classic, the Wii Sports Resort, everything there is amazing. Very simple mechanics. You engaging with it was just an entirely novel idea that made everything incredibly memorable. And I would love to see how this is going to work with the Switch.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting because Wii Sports is one of those games where it was clearly made to show off the functions of the Wii. Yeah. And it did that really well, but it was super approachable. Mm-hmm. You can have a bunch of people over who've never played a video game in their life, and they can get Wii bowling.
Yeah.
It's press a button, move like you're bowling, release button. It's not too complicated. You can invite your
grandpa to play. You can invite a toddler to play.
It's one of those games, and Nintendo does that fairly well, where they have some very approachable games that they put out. Mm-hmm. Whereas with the PlayStation and Xbox, and this isn't a bad thing, but they very much focus on their key core audience of people who are already gamers.
Yeah.
Or people who are looking to join in and become heavy gamers. There's no way you're sending your grandma Elden Ring. You're not telling her, hey, become the Tarnished and go, collect the Elden Ring and beat all these high bosses.
Except for Skyrim Grandma. We can send her Elden Ring.
Yeah, maybe Skyrim
Hope she's
Grandma.
doing okay.
But most other grandmas are gonna be like, what the frick are you talking about? But, like, if your grandma comes over and you're like, hey, you want to go bowling? I get that COVID's happening, so we can't go to the bowling alley, but we can play in my room. Grandma can get it. She might think it's stupid, but she can get it.
Get the game. We're not saying Grandma can get it, but, I mean,
Well,
come on.
Grandma
Grandma can get it.
Who am I to say if your grandma cannot get it?
Mine can't.
That's because she's dead.
She's getting that in the big old retirement home in the sky. In that big old ranch farm in upstate New York where all of my other pets went.
We're laughing because that's how we deal with the negativity of the situation, not because we hate grandmothers. And with that, we're ending the episode.
We might hate yours, I don't know. Anyway, we'll be more positive next episode. But
because
thank you
we
all.
will be leaving Victory Road.
Was this just your way to distract me while we got through Victory Road?
I mean, did it work?
If I say yes, are you going to say it was intentional? Or did you just want to complain and I just got really into it?
I just really wanted to complain about fashion games and talk about Totally Angelica. That's really all I wanted. But yeah.
Well,
we're practically through. I just gotta find the exit.
are we going to catch anything in here, by the way?
We could. We totally could. I just don't really see the point.
Fair. Alright, and next time we'll talk more about how Gale's going to become a full-time... Gale is going to become a full-time Totally Angelica streamer for the PS1.
You know what? I was thinking of finding an emulator with it. I think this is our last guy. I'm just gonna face this guy. I'm just gonna finish it out. This episode's a little longer, but that's okay.
It's okay. Most of it we're... Hopefully you're going to skip through a good chunk of this.
Absolutely not. They're gonna hear everything.
Okay, if you do that, I don't like your grandma. Anyway.
What?
I need more people to piss off, apparently. Vegas clowns and mimes are not enough.
So you gotta go for my family? That's the next
Your
leap?
grandma's cool.
That's the next lob. Oh, you mean their grandmas?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant my personal grandma.
No!
I was like, you've met her! Like, whoa, man! Whoa! I'm your wife! You can hate some random stranger on the internet's grandma, but not mine.
That is how I get through my day.
Frick you, citizen in particular listening to this.
Comments. Wait, have we met Comments, Grandma?
I don't know if we've met Comments.
No, like in-game.
No.
I know we've met Comments' mom. I thought we'd met their grandma.
No, their mom and dad are the only characters.
Was it
in there.
Cynthia's mom?
Yeah, we met Cynthia's grandma.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cynthia, your grandma sucks.
Suck it, Cynthia!
Always go after the forefathers. True way to mock someone. Your mom is outdated, your grandma's the new insult. Aw, that was cute. Destroy it. So Pokemon.
How many Pokemon grandmas can we insult in the next, 5 minutes we have on the episode?
You have the people in the Lava Ridge town.
Yeah, they suck. Always in the sand. That's so
You
stupid.
gave me an egg and I never used it.
Yeah, suck it. Also, we
Daycare
have...
center.
We have the grandmas that are in the Elite Four. There's always one, and you're holding on to your dreams, being champion for too long. Suck it, you'll never amount to anything. Elite Four grandmas.
Daycare center. You're creepy. Moving on. Why is it when I leave 2 random Pokemon with you, they get busy? Not okay.
That was literally a 2-day-old Pokemon, and I can't believe you let them participate in those activities.
I would love the next gen. People have been joking that because the next one takes place in Spain, if the grandma is just Abuela, or if the big bad is just Abuela.
Abuela. There's just what is it? The Chancla?
La Chancla?
Yeah, there's just a Chancla Pokemon. And that's her.
I don't know how much that's Spanish or Central South American, but truly is something to be feared.
Alright, we
what
made
the
it.
hell?
Welcome to this very big house that also looks very small at the same time.
That's a freaking castle!
It is a castle.
Since when did the Elite Four have a castle?
Yeah, since forever.
I mean, I know they did in X and Y, but that was like... That actually looked good. This is like, we're going to a dollhouse.
Yep. And we'll enter in next time. Thank you for dealing with us for this extra long episode. We will see you in the next one where we face comments and do our last bit of prep, because the Elite Four is all one episode. So we will complete that one 2 episodes from now. Look forward to it, everybody. We'll see you then. Bye-bye! Hi there. It's the end of the video, my friend. Hit the bell if it was okay. I'm sure I'll make good content someday. I'll play some games or do some drawing, Pokemon and fights with Darling, video essays and reviews. I couldn't do it without you, so thanks, like and subscribe.